My name is Keegan. I live in Michigan with my parents. High school was a pretty good time for me since I got to meet lots of new people during those years. Naturally, I also had a few people I would hang out with outside of school. Most of the time, we spent time together at places like my local community center, where we would work out and play basketball. Back in freshman year, as the school year was nearing its end, I was looking forward to summer break. I was about to start driver's training and even planned to get a side job to start earning some money, though my start wasn't the quickest. I had this friend named Clayton. We usually hung out at least once every week. He was a grade below me, finishing his last year of junior high. To some extent, we were decent friends, and my dad and I even took him to a Detroit Pistons basketball game once. He was a huge basketball fan, so he was more than excited to see his first game. Despite all the good times in the past, it was when I started getting busier that I noticed he began to change a little. He would often get sad or upset when I wasn't free on a certain day. He was the type who could get pretty intense anger issues when he got angry enough. I remember one day clearly when I told him again that I couldn't hang out because I had to stay home and clean. It always seemed like he would pick the exact days when I wasn't available to hang out. I didn't check my phone until after I finished cleaning, and when I did, I saw that he had removed me on Snapchat. I sent him a message on Messenger asking why he got so mad and why he decided to unfriend me. He thought I was lying just to avoid hanging out with him. That thought stayed in my mind for a while, and honestly, I sometimes did lie because he was starting to act so annoying. Occasionally, I'd make up excuses like saying I was busy, going somewhere, or already had plans with someone else. He felt so left out that one evening after the sun went down, he showed up at the apartment I was living in at the time without telling me. I asked him why he didn't text me first. He said nothing. He just stared at me for a few seconds, then slowly walked away. Why was he even there so late? Why didn't he speak? Why did he give me that cold stare like I'd done something wrong? I didn't talk to him the next day either. That was also the time when I turned off my Snap Map on Snapchat to hide my location after he added me back again. A month or so passed, but he stayed the same, angry or upset when I couldn't see him. Then I got a text from my friend Nick, who I barely saw in person. Nick knew Clayton and also knew his ex-girlfriend. Nick told me some disturbing things about Clayton and what he had done. But my stomach sank when I learned from him and Clayton's ex that Clayton had held a knife to her throat and sexually assaulted her. Right then, I knew without a doubt that he was completely psycho. I removed him as a friend on every social platform right away without thinking twice. He sent me messages on Instagram before I blocked him there too. He spammed my phone with messages asking why I was removing him. I told him I just needed some space and would add him back when I was feeling better, but that was just a lie so I could escape him. That same night, while I was home alone because my parents had gone to the next town to have dinner with old friends, I heard a knock at my apartment door. I looked through the peephole, but no one was there. I cracked the door open a little to check the hallway, but it was empty. I assumed someone was just ding-dong ditching. I figured they'd leave and not come back. But when I randomly glanced out my bedroom window where the sidewalk light had burned out, I noticed a quick flash in the corner of my eye. I thought it might have been a light from a car, but then my stomach dropped as I saw a tall figure standing right outside my window. It was him. I opened the window and told him to leave and that I didn't want him here. He said he needed to come in and tell me something. I firmly refused and said I wanted him to go. But when he shifted around a bit, I noticed he was holding something in his hand. I couldn't clearly see what it was until he raised it up. And when I tell you I was terrified, I seriously thought I might faint because, no joke, Clayton was holding a knife. I told him I was calling the police, but by the time they arrived, he had already run off. I gave the best description I could of him to the officers. Since that awful night, I haven't heard anything about him or from him. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if he had come with the intention to kill me while I was there alone. I truly believe he meant to hurt me. I assumed he probably ended up in juvie after that incident. Not only did that whole experience leave me horrified, but it also became one of the most traumatic things I've ever gone through. Having my parents gone during it all made it feel even more terrifying. I'm relieved I cut all contact with him when I did, because I believe if I hadn't, I might have ended up being his next punching bag, or worse, dead.